Since this will be my last day with you before heading out to Halifax, I'd like to give a short reflection using three phrases from Mass. Start off with my favorite greeting at Mass, the Lord be with you, the Lord be with you. Then I'm going to look at the last words that I will say to you at Mass. Go in peace, glorifying the Lord by your lives. And the last phrase I'm going to use for this reflection is the last words you will say to me. Peace, or thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. So the greeting, the Lord be with you. 2 times at the Mass, the priest or deacon will say these words, usually before reading the Gospel or before the consecration. This tells us something. It tells us what is about to happen. The Lord is about to be with us. The Lord will soon be with you as you listen to the word read out at Mass, in the Gospel and the readings. The Lord will soon be with you in your hearts and your minds through this experience. The second time, before the consecration, the Lord will soon be with us when the bread and wine that we see on the altar will be transformed completely into his body and blood. The Lord will soon be with you. In a way, that's why we come to church regularly, so that the Lord may be with us. The Lord may be with us both in word and in the sacrament, even entering into our very bodies at Holy Communion. When I first said these words to you in September and in the year that has followed, my prayer has been that through me, you have felt how the Lord has been with you, truly among you, and the Lord is serving you. Either through the homilies or our conversations, through our classroom visits, the school visits, the funerals, the weddings, the visits to people's homes, the many parish activities we've had in the year, and certainly every week when we gather for the Eucharist. I pray that you have felt the Lord has been with you. As a spiritual father for you this past year, that was my mission, to help deepen your relationship with Christ, to make Jesus present to you. I was his messenger, but he was always the message. For Jesus is the Word made flesh who dwells among us. And for all of us, we can use this greeting, the Lord be with you, even in our common conversations. Instead of, hi, how's it going, or how you been, we could start off by, the Lord be with you, and then continue the conversation so that we are bringing our faith into the world. The last words that I will say at Mass is, go in peace, glorifying the Lord by your lives. The last words that you hear at Mass is, go in peace. When the priest gives himself completely and authentically to his people, it's inevitable something will happen. He will begin to love his people, just like a father is called to love his family as well. Every time you call me Father, I think of that. It reminds me of who I am, what I've been called to do each day, to be a loving father to all of you, to my spiritual children. Because every parent wants the best for their children, hopefully, so too do I want the best for you. And I've tried to be your spiritual father during this year, teaching you, guiding you, caring for you in the best way I know, through prayers, being generous, giving of my time. And it's important that you know that even though when I say these last words today, go in peace, that there is sadness in my heart. There's a little bit of lack of peace in this moment. Because it's been a wonderful place to serve. You have been a wonderful community to be with this past year. And I'd like you to hear this. Your faith inspires me. So I'd like to thank you for being so kind, so welcoming to me in this past year. I have felt at home here from the very beginning. When I hear those words come out of my mouth, go in peace, glorifying the Lord by your lives, that's what you and I must do. We must enter into some sort of peace during a transition, whenever there is change. What you and I must do is we must continue to live and grow in our faith. That will be how we receive peace. Think of it this way. If you continue to grow in your faith when I'm gone, then that will give me peace. Because I know that what we have done in the past year, what we have accomplished, our journey together, will continue. And that is a positive experience, and that would give me peace. Similarly, if I go to Halifax and do my best to strive to be the best priest I can be to the people of Halifax, hopefully that gives you peace. You will know that you've helped me this past year to grow in my faith, to be a better priest, and inspired me to serve the church not only in Orleans but now across Canada. Part of my yes to being a priest is to be flexible, to go wherever God, or in this case the Archbishop, sends me. So if I told the bishop, there's no way I'm leaving, dig in my heels and things like that, I'm preventing God from sending me maybe where he wants me to go and serve. In fact, the very reason I've been with you this year is that I said yes to being moved from the last place, last August. This past year, I've been with you, now I'm being sent to be with others. Several of you have asked me, actually many have asked me, are you excited to go to Halifax? Probably the common question this past month. The answer, the truthful answer is not yet. Not yet. Because right now I'm sad to leave. When you move and you change, you know a little bit of what you're going to, but there's a lot of uncertainty. But what I do know for certain is what I'm leaving and losing. And I'm leaving a wonderful community that has loved me this past year. Now, many people, as you know, change jobs in their life. Maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's something they applied for, they went through interviews and all that. My move to Halifax is by no means a promotion, nor is it something I applied for. The mission is always the same, to bring the gospel to people. The last words that you will hear me say today, or we will all say, is thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. And we say thanks be to God because we're thankful because the Lord was with us. We received him in the Word in the first half of Mass, and then in the sacrament in the second half. But today, when I say thanks be to God, I'll be saying, thanks be to God for your enthusiasm to learn the faith and to grow in your faith. I will be saying thanks be to God for your faithfulness and your devotion and prayer that I've witnessed. I will be saying thanks be to God for your kindness and your friendship to me. I will be saying thanks be to God for the time we've shared together. And I will be saying thanks be to God for such a loving group of people who it's been a real joy to celebrate Mass with. May God bless you.